Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Talking Television. We have a very special episode tonight. I'm Jay, that's Chris, and we have our wives with us, Savannah and Amber. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys.
Tonight we're talking about Season 2, Episode 1 of Big Little Lies. So before we get into the details of that and start going through everything, our thoughts on that show, we are drinking wine this evening.
Matua, a Sauvignon Blanc 2017 from New Zealand.
What are your thoughts on it?
It's very good. It's a dry white wine. It has a hint of citrus.
Yeah, I picked up some apple.
I'm not exactly a wine drinker per se, but this was actually pretty good. And I tasted a tart grape and some citrus in there as well.
And it's definitely a change up from the whiskey and beer we've been drinking, but we thought it was a little more fitting for the show, so we went with wine.
We will go with wines for Big Little Lies this season. All right, the title of this episode is What Have They Done? The intro, they give the flashbacks of Season 1, everything that happened with the main characters, all the drama that kind of came to a head on the last episode, and we get introduced to a new character as well. So, based on the flashbacks from Season 1, why don't we do a quick little recap of our thoughts about the finale for Season 1.
Yeah, well, we could start with our history on the show. Jay, Savannah, and I have all watched Season 1. Amber has not, so she's kind of jumping into this with very little knowledge on the first season.
The first season felt really like slow building, and this first episode, a lot going on.
Pedal to the metal?
Yeah.
They kind of built how each character was feeling about the way the last season ended. With the death, let's say, I'm not going to say murder or killing, but with the death of Perry, how each character kind of is dealing with that grief. And I think that's the way that this is going to focus this season, as well as the detective on the heels of them.
Big thing I think about this season was it was never originally planned for. It was supposed to be a miniseries, 7 episodes, and then, what do we know? It must have been successful, and now we have Season 2.
Yeah, and all the cast came back. Even Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah.
He's got title credits as well.
Yes, he does. And the big addition, I think, is Meryl Streep. I think the big reason they brought her is they're going for some Emmys, right?
Yeah.
That's why you bring her in.
They didn't get enough last time, so they want some more this season.
How do you guys feel about her character?
She's very backhanded. Especially towards Reese Witherspoon's character, Madeline. She berated her for being short.
I found that offensive.
She just kept laying into her every time their two characters came across each other, whether it was at the coffee shop, at her Madeline's place of business. She's a realtor. She just kept laying into her. So she's very backhanded, and even when she interacts with Celeste's character, you could tell she knows something more is going on, and she wants to hear the truth. She might know it already, but she's going to get to the bottom of it.
She wants to hear it from the people.
Exactly.
So Amber, being new to this show, what did you feel about the characters? Any of them stand out that you liked or disliked immediately?
Lauren, the one that plays
Laura Dern.
Renata. I don't understand her character, not knowing anything from last season. In this episode anyway, she's totally pointless to me. Like, she means nothing other than she's very outlandish in her pink dress doing her photo shoots for Women in Power. Maybe she'll fit in later, I don't know, but at this point they could take her out and it would be nothing to me.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of Laura Dern's characters that she plays or anything, but I think last season I really hated her character, and I actually felt that she did a good job playing that character, and that's the reason I really disliked her. So I agree. So far this season, she doesn't have any real reason to be in the picture. I think that'll change a little bit. I think she'll probably maybe end up getting cornered by the police, or maybe we'll see another rift at school for some reason.
Yeah, I remember her from the first season being such the evil character where you really disliked her. And then now she's already coming out guns blazing with the new teacher, where you're reminded how terrible of you don't want your child in the same classroom as Renata's child.
Exactly.
Because she was already coming out saying that, my child's got a high GPA or no, not GPA.
IQ.
IQ. Yeah.
150 something,
Yeah.
which is
I want special
pretty
treatment
good.
for my child.
Yeah,
And
it just really sets the mood for, starting a fresh school year with a new teacher, and to have a parent come up and just lay into you like that.
Well, and to watch her child, especially because she was bullied last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That
get
her
good
child-
special treatment. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you like any characters? Any of them come off in this that actually seemed appealing or kind of you could see their point of view?
I kind of like Reese Witherspoon's character.
Yeah, she was great in season 1.
I think she's kind of funny. She is the bubbly, but then you can also see her
I like her wit.
seriousness of like, why aren't you doing this? This is what you're supposed to do, like with her daughter. Like, you're a child, you need to do what I tell you to do.
Yeah, she's very direct, and she's like a little bulldog. She'll go after you, full steam ahead, basically.
Right.
They tag the line, the Monterey Five. One of Shailene Woodley's, her character Jane, one of her coworkers, as they're talking on the beach, he says, "Oh yeah, you guys are the Monterey Five," and that seems like you could even tell in the beginning where they're at the school. All the parents are dropping the kids off for the first day, and the group of the 5 get together. You can tell the other parents are looking at them differently.
Yep.
Like they know something's going on. They're suspicious, and they're kind of keeping their distance. So to have the group tagged as the Monterey Five now, I think is going to be play a little bit of a role too.
And going back to season 1, they were kind of the it girls. Like all the parents, I felt on day 1, they wanted their kids, to be in the same class, or they kind of looked up. Where this time, it's a little different.
I think they're all just scared of Renata.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Bonnie, who's Zoe Kravitz, her character is actually kind of on the outskirts of the group because she's feeling differently about the whole situation,
event.
what went down.
Yeah, she seems to be having pretty severe PTSD.
And towards the end of the episode, she actually is outside of the police station, maybe contemplating like turning herself in and changing her story because she felt pressured from Madeline, Reese Witherspoon's character, to go with the group and say he fell. It wasn't self-defense per se. It was, just on him.
Yeah, can we talk about that? Who really thinks that's a good idea that they should have changed the story? Either
Then
way.
he slipped.
Yeah.
He was
why make up
obviously
that lie?
abusive to all of them. It was a scuffle, and he was, hitting them and choking them. They had all the right in the world to defend themselves.
He's a big guy. Yeah, Zoe Kravitz is tiny. The fact that she pushed him to get him off of Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, I think it would have been perfectly defensible.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw the end of season 1. The detective's kind of hiding behind a rock. Keeping an eye on him. And this season, the detective is still replaying all the confessions. Just move on. There's got to be other murders that are actually worth investigating.
Yeah.
But could Meryl Streep's character have them looking into it?
Maybe.
Could be. She seems like a very strong-willed person.
Could she be having lawyers on the side after the police to keep looking into it to try and get what actually happened?
I'm curious, does Meryl Streep's character know that he abused his wife?
I think that'll come out. I think that's going to be something that might have to come to a head at some point. Because she's in Celeste's business. She's there helping out with the kids. And another recurring theme that's going on with Celeste in this episode is her nightmares. She keeps replaying, past abuse in her head and what things could have been differently. And she wakes up abruptly. And every time she wakes up, Mary Louise is right there, and she hears what she says every time she's coming out of that sleep state. At the end of the episode, it was, "I killed him." and she catches her. She's like, "Who are we gonna kill?" Mm-hmm. You know, right in her ear.
Well,
So-
No, it was like, I'll kill you.
I'll kill you.
Yeah, I'll kill you.
Well, and the boys are acting out too by also being abusive towards one another because that's what they saw.
Yeah, so it's a rough situation. You can tell there's a lot of trauma that's happened, and these characters, they need to work through it, and they're all doing it in their own ways.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't talk about Jane yet, so Shailene Woodley. She got some very 90s bangs going on.
She does.
And when we mentioned earlier she was on the beach and her coworker mentioned, the Monterey 5, but in that scene she's rocking a $200 Patagonia vest, and she came to town just completely broke, had nothing. And she's not cashing these estate checks that Celeste is sending from Perry's estate. Where is she getting all this other money from?
Exactly.
She's working at a zoo, which can't pay very much, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, that, and they're always going out having drinks, middle of the day, in the evening. They always don't have their kids, so they're paying for childcare. Seems a little out of touch.
Yeah. So the Outer Bay song at school, Bonnie looked like she was having none of that shit. She was just sitting in the audience like, ugh.
Yeah, it was very bad.
yeah.
The principal seemed to enjoy it, though.
Yeah.
I think he looked forward to that every year.
Well, I think he said it was new this year.
Oh, was it this year?
Yeah.
See, I toned it out.
Well, didn't he call out Reese Witherspoon's character for not singing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if it's new, how are you supposed to know the words?
Yeah.
A lot of them parents knew the words, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, Amber, you liked one of the jokes in here, and that was Renata was so far up her ass that she was going to need to pull out a snorkel.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Madeline also had a new coffee shop this season. So do we think it has anything to do with the accident and the coffee boy last year, maybe?
Yeah, we haven't seen his character at all.
Yeah, there was a lot of drama kind of going on every time she was there. So maybe she moved on somewhere else?
And I think that was Jane's date to the final, at the school function where everything went down. She had actually brought the coffee guy with. So I don't know if things just soured and he moved on and they don't need him anymore. So, or maybe they just felt like trying a different coffee shop that day.
Well, one that has a lot of weed going on the beach.
That's what happens in California.
Yeah, we also saw another quick cameo with Dr. Weissman. She was Celeste. Was she her
Psychiatrist or
last year?
therapist?
I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly what she did, but she was definitely pushing her to divorce Perry.
Yeah, she is the one that recommended getting her own apartment and having a escape plan in place.
Yeah, and she's played by Robin Wiegert, who we saw this last week also in the Deadwood movie. She got revived, her character in there, so she's kind of having a nice little resurgence in her career.
Definitely.
Madeline's ex-husband is having marital problems with Bonnie, and so he sought out Adam Scott's character. I don't know his name.
I don't either. I don't think any of us care.
To see if Adam Scott, could speak to Bonnie so he could find out what's going on with his wife. And then there was an altercation.
Well, yeah, Adam Scott kind of gave him some lip for seeking him out. Like, you want your ex-wife's now husband to go talk to your now wife, on your behalf. It's basically your problem. Why are you coming to me?
Yeah.
His name is Ed, by the way.
Oh, Ed.
Such a forgettable name. Sorry to all the Eds out there.
So, I don't know. He got mad. I don't see why he should get mad. It kind of called him out on his own problem.
And as the audience, we know why his wife Bonnie is, being distant and not talking to him. It's because of everything that went down. She was the one that had pushed him, Perry down the stairs, and killed him. So, as the audience, we know the issue. He doesn't, but he's not.
He's turning it into about himself.
Yeah, exactly. He's more concerned with them not being intimate and not really concerned with him trying to track down his wife's feelings. So, and then him to go to Adam Scott's character Ed to help him out. Yeah, it was just
It was a weird situation.
It was a weird
But
situation.
it probably does take a little bit of cojones to kind of admit that you're doing something wrong and to go to your ex-wife's husband and say, hey, you did something right. Can you teach me?
Yeah.
But then when he says no, to get mad at him for that.
The last character that we see kind of has a new plot line this season is Madeline's daughter, Abigail. And she's kind of being pushed to go to college, and it doesn't seem like she wants to go to college. And there's going to be, I think, a whole season-long tiff about that on what their next plans are. What did you guys think?
My personal opinion, I understand that she wants better for her daughter, but I don't like where the show's going, like, you know, having the argument, if you don't go to college, you're going to be flipping burgers. That was just my own personal, I didn't like how that went, because college isn't for everyone. Mm-hmm. But I do understand, you know, you always want your child to have better. And then I know you have a different, you know, take on it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree college isn't for everyone. I think Reese's, or Madeline's big issue was when she said, all right, well, if you're not going to college, which has kind of been our family plan all along, what are you going to do? And she basically said, oh, I just want to go help people. You know, kind of seems like the normal stereotypical California tree hugger attitude. And I think she was looking more for a game plan.
Yeah, I think Reese, she's pushing for her daughter to go to college because she didn't go to college. And she kind of is giving her like a scare tactic, I would say, is, you know, if you don't go to college, you're not going to be successful. You know, you're not going to be anybody in life, even though herself, she's become somebody and she's successful for not having a college degree. But yeah, I think she's just pushing hardcore for her to follow her plan that she set out for her daughter, not necessarily
Her daughter's plan.
Yeah, her daughter's plan.
That's where you gotta come to like the agreement of just a community college, possibly of even night school classes, so her daughter can kind of do what she wants to do, and because she already has some game plan to a point happening, but she can still take some college classes, core ones that can help her in her path that she wants to do.
But the actress, Catherine Newton, I wanted to bring up, she's been killing it lately. So I pulled up her IMDb here. Before Big Little Lies, she was also in The Society, which was a big hit, Detective Pikachu, Wayward Sisters, Cockblockers, Supernatural, Halt and Catch Fire, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
That was a good movie.
Oh, yeah.
Lady Bird, and Mad Men, like a slew of, you know, highly acclaimed shows and movies. So she's making a killing.
Yeah, the whole cast they have for this show is just all A-listers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy that they were, you know, turned a limited show into, you know, a second season and that everybody came back on there.
But aside from the cast, it probably isn't super expensive to produce, right? I mean, it's all kind of either on location or wherever their set is designed, but there isn't explosions. There's no crazy CGI. There's really not tons of extras. You know, it seems pretty cheap for them. So if they're getting good ratings, keep making it.
That
Yeah.
and a lot of the cast, aren't they all producers? A lot of the cast are producers, yeah, where it's a stepping stone into non-acting eventually, I'm sure, because Nicole Kidman's a producer.
Well, Reese Witherspoon has already kind of made that leap a few years ago with the show, or with the movie Wild, and Laura Dern was also in that. So yeah, I think it is. They're all giving themselves the opportunity to grow, which is pretty smart.
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
So what do we think is going to happen the rest of the season? You guys want to make some predictions?
I think Renata's gonna become evil again somehow. You know.
Yeah, her power trip that she's always rocking is gonna ruffle some feathers again. I can see that happening.
I think Bonnie's conscience is going to get the best of her.
Yeah, I think she's gonna have a chance run-in per se with the detective, and they might get to talking. And I think the detective's gonna find out the truth, but there's gonna be some sort of resolution where they don't get in trouble.
Look, they're super rich. Why don't they just hire a top lawyer to just
Shut it down.
Yeah, get their shit squared away, get it taken care of with the detective, and just be done with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think it's going to drag on for the whole season, and eventually somebody's just going to break and just let it all out, and that'll be the season
Well,
finale.
I think it's going to be, they're going to like kind of rip apart, because you hear in one of the trailer credits of Reese Witherspoon saying, we just got to stick together, our story's got to stay the same. And I just think that over the course of the season, like, they're going to be pulling apart from one another somehow.
I think Mary Louise is going to have a part to play too.
Oh yeah,
She seems to be the real powerhouse that's going to be, getting between everybody and trying to get the truth.
she just keeps popping up. She seems to know where everybody's going to be, and
Exactly.
keeps pushing all their buttons and getting them all on edge. So
Making short jokes.
short jokes, yeah.
She's very good at the short jokes.
How tall is Meryl Streep? You got to be a certain height to start making short jokes.
I think taller than Reese Witherspoon, and that's all that matters. Well, that was episode 1 of season 2 for Big Little Lies. So, as always, check us out, subscribe. We're at Southport Media. You can follow us on all the major socials, and keep coming back. We'll have new wines this season we'll be reviewing and talking about the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being on. Well, cheers.
Bye guys, see you next week. Cheers.